Great self begins at the base. Whole self, integrated self, is rooted here in the soil to the ground. This is our basic self. This is what keeps us connected always to the sensation of life, to the wisdom of life, to the survival of life. This is our food sense. What drives us, what keeps us in line with the gravity of the earth's pull. And as we move into ourself and the ego begins to form, the conscious self takes hold of consciousness. And as this occurs, a fundamental change occurs. A switch, a movement from the basic roots of who we are to a greater aspiration of self, to transcendence beyond the basic self, the sense of life, the sensation of being. And as our conscious self takes hold, the ego becomes the dominant source of consciousness. And the basic self falls into the unconscious. Priority change, so to speak. And that priority change, that switch, that change in evolution, that allows for greater evolution of two abilities. Yet when one dominates the other, we suffer from singularity, a perspective of differentiated, dispersed self. Integrating back then is the movement towards a greater conscious self, so to speak, a superconscious, or more, a greater self. The consciousness that integrates basic self with conscious self, with greater self. An integration, a whole, a balanced being, a oneness that's deeply rooted in the foundation of evolution, that knows through its root systems a great intelligence, a masterful memory of all of life's existence, that brings that into higher form, higher reciprocity, higher mutual agreements, that comes into itself and unto itself as it evolves, as it reaches and strives, as it asks questions of who am I, how can I be better than what I am today. And as this evolution lifts us, it upholds us, it carries us into the greater spiritual truth of who we are, down through our entire essence and being, down into the foundation of who we are, down into our basic self, into our roots understanding, and then through the self, centered in the heart, where the two connect, centered in the heart and uplifted through his hands to the great spiritual high, the knowledge of self, the divine self that is integral self, whole self and complete self, perfect self, in alignment and balance with all its harmonious features, itself individually and itself as a whole, a community, a collective effort of life. And the evolution continues, but this tree is not only a tree, it is me. I am that reaching. I am that striving. I know